By the middle of the afternoon, the day was so hot that Audrey's only relief was to suck on a chunk of frost from the freezer and let the cold stream of water dribble down her neck. She was lazing on an old chair on the back porch, dressed in shorts and a light blue tee, her feet tucked under her sticky thighs as she watched Harry. At 6, her little brother seemed oblivious to the sultriness. He was happily playing one of his make-believe games in the parched grass. Shifting uncomfortably, she considered engaging Harry in a game of hide-and-seek. That would be something to do, anyway, to alleviate her boredom. Despite their 4-year age difference, they had fun together and were pretty much each other's only friends. Whenever they played the game, Harry liked to hide near the Ritter's house next door, but Audrey always made a beeline for the thick woods behind the field that abutted their backyard. Whenever Harry took too long to find her, she would call like a crow, and he would follow the sound only to brag later that he'd found her all on his own. She never minded, though. Audrey eyed the lush treetops of the faraway woods, knowing the air would be much cooler under their leafy expanse. She felt the familiar tug to seek their comforting shelter, to get far away from their house and the woman inside. Her eyes shifted to the screen door. Only a few weeks ago, Mother had ordered her and Harry to keep out of the woods, Audrey's favorite place in her small world. "I ain't raising no clodhoppers," she'd said. "You both stay out of them woods from now on." Audrey didn't know what clodhoppers were, but being so poor and all, figured maybe they were just that. She knew not to question Mother about why they couldn't play in the woods anymore, or about anything else either. Worse yet would be complaining to her daddy. That would only lead to more trouble. Mother's demand had come the day after Grandmother Hamilton moved away. She'd just up and left without a word of goodbye, off to live with a friend somewhere else, leaving them to live in the house she'd owned forever. But instead of being happy, Mother had been ornery as a bear, much worse than her normal surly self. Audrey figured she was mad because her own mother had not said proper goodbyes to everyone. Mother was big on good manners, although she had none herself to speak of. Audrey couldn't have cared less that the old lady was gone. Her grandmother had never paid any attention to her or Harry, and now, at least, the only yelling that went on was between Mother and Daddy. Even better, Audrey and Harry had their own rooms up on the second floor. She swiped the sweat from her top lip and stretched out her tanned, gangly legs, still deciding if standing was worth the effort. Sighing, she unstuck her bottom from the chair, blew the frizzy bangs off her forehead, and pulled herself up. She pressed an ear to the screen door. Quiet. Only an electric buzz from their old fan hummed in the kitchen. When she ambled into the yard toward Harry, he was examining a ladybug as it crawled around the tip of his finger. "Hey, want to play hide-and-seek with me?" Audrey twirled curly ponytail strands while she admired the way his golden hair glinted in the sunshine.